At dinner, she said, "I'm leaving you." Then the door opened and her face went pale. The restaurant was too quiet for a place that expensive. Soft piano music, low voices, the kind of silence money buys so no one has to hear anyone else's pain. She folded her napkin once, twice. That was the tell. "I'm leaving you." 4 words, clean, practiced, delivered between a sip of red wine and a glance at her phone, as if she were ordering dessert instead of ending a decade. I didn't react. That surprised her. I stared at the candle between us, watched the flame tremble, thought about how easy it is to snuff something out if you know where to blow. "I didn't want to do this publicly," she added, irritation flickering in her eyes, "but you wouldn't listen at home." Home. The word felt foreign now, like a house I'd already sold in my head. I nodded slowly, calm, almost bored. That annoyed her more than anger ever could. She leaned forward, lowered her voice. "There's someone else. I'm not in love with you anymore. I haven't been for a long time." I felt it then. Not pain, clarity. Because while she was speaking, while she was confident and cruel and certain, I heard the door behind her open. The heavy wood creaked. A pause fell over the room. Her words stopped mid-breath. Her spine stiffened. The color drained from her face so fast it was almost impressive. She turned, and for the first time in years, she looked afraid. I'd suspected long before tonight. Late nights that didn't add up. Phone tilted away from me in bed. Perfume she claimed was new but only wore when I wasn't around. I didn't confront her. I don't believe in emotional reactions. They warn people. They give them time to adjust their lies. Instead, I listened. I watched. I remembered details she forgot. She had changed, not suddenly, slowly, the way rot spreads in wood, quiet, patient, inevitable. When she told me she was finding herself, I let her. When she said she needed space, I gave it, because space makes people careless, and careless people leave trails. Names in phone records she deleted, but forgot about backups. A credit card charge from a hotel she claimed she'd never been to. A man's laugh in the background of a voicemail she thought she'd erased. I didn't rage. I didn't cry. I planned. She thought she was in control. She thought she was choosing the moment. Tonight was her stage. She just didn't realize I'd already written the ending. When she said she was leaving me, she expected begging, or anger, or tears. What she got was silence. That confused her. And confusion is the first crack in confidence. She glanced at me, annoyed. "You're not going to say anything?" I looked up at her then, met her eyes, and smiled. "Go on," I said quietly. "Finish." That was when the door opened. The weeks leading up to tonight had been meticulous. I confirmed everything before I made a single move. I followed patterns, mapped timelines, verified lies. I learned his name. I learned his weaknesses. I learned the one thing she didn't know about him. People think revenge is loud. It isn't. Revenge is paperwork. It's patience. It's knowing exactly when to stay silent. I watched her rehearse this moment in the mirror, watched her practice looking sad but relieved. She had no idea I'd already spoken to a lawyer, no idea I'd already protected myself financially, no idea I'd already spoken to someone else, someone who deserved to know the truth. I didn't confront her lover. I didn't need to. I contacted his wife, gave her facts, proof, dates. Then I waited, because chaos doesn't need help once it's introduced properly. Tonight wasn't about confrontation, it was about exposure. As the waiter refilled our glasses, she straightened her shoulders, preparing for her big speech. She thought she was ending me. She didn't realize she was walking into the light. The door creaked open behind her. Footsteps, slow, deliberate. Not rushed, someone who wasn't afraid of what they were about to see. Her hand tightened around her glass, her breath caught, and then silence. She turned fully this time, her mouth opened, no sound came out. Standing in the doorway was the last person she expected, the woman she had lied to, the woman she had helped betray. His wife, elegant, calm, dressed too well for coincidence. Her eyes moved from my wife to me, and she nodded. That small gesture carried more weight than any scream ever could. "What is this?" my wife whispered. Her confidence evaporated. Her story collapsed under its own weight. I stood slowly, took my jacket from the chair. "She's here because you forgot something," I said calmly. "You forgot that secrets don't stay buried when too many people are standing on them." The woman stepped closer. "I read everything," she said softly. "The messages, the emails, the hotel receipts." My wife shook her head violently. "No, this is a misunderstanding." I placed a folder on the table. Documents, photos, timelines. Evidence doesn't argue, it just exists. She looked at it, then at me, then back at the woman. Her hands trembled. "I was going to tell you," she said weakly. The lie tasted stale even to her. I leaned closer. "You already did," I whispered, "just not with words." I didn't raise my voice. I didn't insult her. I didn't need to. I turned to the woman beside me. "She deserves the truth," I said, "and so do you." Then I looked back at my wife. "You wanted to leave me publicly," I continued. "You wanted control, power, closure." I straightened. "So I gave you an audience." The woman placed her phone on the table, pressed play. Her own voice filled the space, laughing, mocking, confident, talking about how easy it was to manipulate me. The restaurant went very quiet. My wife's face crumpled. People were watching now. She reached for me. I stepped back. "No," I said gently. "You don't get to touch me anymore." She broke then. Tears, pleas, apologies she'd practiced too late. I picked up my jacket. "I didn't lose you tonight," I said. "I realized I never had you." Then I turned away, left her there, with the truth. Outside, the night air was cold and clean. I breathed deeply. No anger, no triumph, just release. I had walked into that restaurant married to an illusion. I walked out, free. Behind me, the door closed, softly, final. And for the first time in years, I felt nothing at all, which was exactly how I knew I'd won.